welcome. Welcome, everybody, to the second attempt at getting this going. This is the podcast. It is January 30th, 2022. You know, the first time around, I was a little bit upset anyways about how unenthusiastic I was with my intro. But we have such a lovely show for you guys tonight. The Halo trailer just premiered. Pokemon Arceus is out. Other stuff. And we have a lovely crew with FunkyBunch Show and SuperGamerBoys. FunkyBunch, try to tell us anything and let's see if they hear it. Because last time they couldn't. Okay, I see it in my monitor, so I guess tell everyone a little bit about your show.
So I am FunkyBunch, host of the FunkyBunch Show. I'm a variety streamer. I do some retro reactions, and I also do perler art on Sundays. And the video games that I do play, I try to play games that I've never played before. So first time playthroughs for things.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've got to play more games that I don't play, that I've never played before. I have an entire wall of games. I don't know, whatever, it's not on the shot right now. And I'm like, but I want to make a Minecraft SMP and Smash Brothers. If I stop playing Smash Brothers, will people even show up? Like, all this stuff. And comments are going to be like, yeah, I'll show up. Play whatever you want. Anywho. But I just got to get to Naughty Bear someday. Or Deadpool for the PlayStation 3. SuperGamerBoys. I mean, how would you like us to address you here?
You can call me Garrett.
Garrett. Okay, perfect. I'm like the doxing. He doxed himself. If anyone asks,
it's fine.
Yeah.
If you want my address, just DM me.
It's
fine. Maybe you'll send some gifts. Maybe you'll send the FBI to my house. Who knows? It's a fun surprise every time.
I like to do a little bit of column A, column B. Yeah.
No, my name's Garrett. I am 1/3 of the SuperGamerBoys. So I do a weekly podcast as well. We usually record and stream it on our Twitch channel. I don't know. Are we shouting that out here? Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
twitch.tv/the SuperGamerBoys. And we do like a news we have a big news segment where we also talk about kind of relevant things in the past week. We do what you're playing segment, talk about all the fun new games we're playing, and some listener questions as well. So we have a lot of fun. It's me. I don't know if has Adrian Homeboy ever been on your channel before?
Yep.
Okay. So Adrian's on there with me, and you probably know him as Homeboy, and then our other co-host JJ. We have a lot of fun over there. So it's podcast, YouTube, Twitch channel that. Fun little podcast.
I've been there. It's a great time. Definitely go check them out. I wrote SuperGamerBoys over here, but it's the SuperGamerBoys on Twitch.
On Twitch. On everything, it's SuperGamerBoys, but Twitch, it's the SuperGamerBoys. So,
we'll have a shout-out command soon enough when Smartsy or Sween arrive on the channel. So, were there any highlights of this week for you guys in particular? Because I feel like last week had so much news, and then this week had a little bit less. I think that there was some news about about people being optimistic about the new open world Sonic game. Oh, that's right. They delayed it because they wanted to make it better.
That seems to be Sega's MO. It's like, the Sonic movie, Sonic didn't look that good. We'll delay it. We'll make it better. Video games will make it better.
Well, it feels like their new MO. I feel like Sonic 06 was never going to be as good as Sonic 07. And if they made Sonic 07, we would have been so happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe we're entering a new era of Sonic. I don't know, whatever. So. For me, maybe the best news of the week was just that Halo TV thing. That the Halo TV trailer just came out, and I watched it. It was like an hour ago, and to me that was kind of the highlight of the week. Even though I'm not the biggest Halo guy, it looks like it has potential.
Yeah.
Aside from that, sorry, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say you could tell that this is like Paramount TV's like real big swing where like this is going to be our Stranger Things, or this is going to be our like this is going to be our big flagship show.
Yeah, our Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like every one of those channels needs one of them. So because there are so many channels, we're gonna get we're gonna get like 7 good shows in total.
Yeah, I
What
feel
do
like
you mean? Paramount has Survivor and Blue Bloods, guys. Come on.
It also has
it,
yeah.
I was gonna
Has
say it has Yellowstone.
Oh, it has Yellowstone. Is that good?
From what I've heard, people
Yeah.
they say it's great.
It also has South Park. So
That's true.
that's kind of where they got me.
It
I'm a
it has
sucker.
it has South Park films. The show is still going to be on
HBO
Comedy Central
and HBO Max, I think. I think HBO Max
Yes.
has it. Yeah. It has only the South Park films. That's weird too.
That's a weird
Yeah.
one.
And for the people who don't know the history of South Park online, like they're pioneers of just whatever, you can watch South Park on our website whenever you want. You don't have to pay
Yep.
anything. It was crazy.
I miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bonkers. So I guess should we go straight into talking about that Halo TV show, and then the second big news story of the week, I guess, is that Arceus is out. Not that I have a copy yet. That's a story I told last week. I'll tell when we get to it. Halo. I've heard of this game. I've heard this game's good. I don't know. Whatever. I beat the first one. I have a copy of most of them. I own all of them in one form or another because I have Game Pass. But I haven't beaten all of them. The show seems to take story beats from whatever. I know it at least takes from the first.
Yeah. I was going to say it probably is starting with the first game.
Yeah. We only got a trailer so far. We think we found Flood. We saw Covenant. I hope it takes from the first because the storyline of the first was amazing.
From what I've seen, I feel like it hasn't been confirmed anywhere, but just little bits and pieces from the trailers, and then speculation that I've been reading from other people is that it sounds like it might almost be, because I haven't played all the Halos either. I was just telling the guys before, I was like, I played Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST. That's my experience. But from what I'm hearing, it's actually not necessarily like it might take elements from the games, but it might be almost like an alternate timeline kind of thing. Like it is going to be its own separate, like it's, so even though it might like loosely have some tie-ins to 1 and 2 and 3 and like a bunch of them, they're not really actually, like, it's not going to be canon to what we know as Halo, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like just a dramatization sort of thing with the characters that we know.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have. This was their first with Halo. They had one take on it with first of all, Halo's the process of Halo being made was so all over the place.
Yeah.
But I feel like when they made that game, they weren't expecting it to be this mega franchise, as it became. Even though it was the flagship game for the Xbox, it became something of a legend.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if you went back to make the story designers of the original Halo, they would have other edits they'd want to make.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure if you asked Miyamoto, he'd have some edits to make on the Super Mario Brothers canon.
No way. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Story.
You got mushrooms.
Yeah.
You jump on these
Yep.
other mushroom looking things. And you rescue the princess that you can't rescue.
Yeah. The interesting thing, so I'm doing some like background research here. The thing that really interests me about this show is that there's not really any star power in it. Like they didn't get like some big name actor to be Master Chief or to be anybody really.
My question, I was gonna say my question is, did they get the voice actor for Master Chief? Because I think there is one
Well,
specific voice actor for Master Chief.
yes. Now the person who's playing Master Chief, is he's been in a few films. He's been in like Den of Thieves
Okay.
and Skyscraper, that rock movie.
Yeah.
He's been in a few of those, but he's not who I would imagine Master Chief being. He's not. Like, The Rock seems like more of what a Master Chief would at least physically look like.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he
Well, and
hopefully he won't take off his helmet. Yeah, sorry, go on.
well, I was just gonna say because your question was if they got the original voice actor for
Yeah, yeah.
Master Chief, and from the trailer, it doesn't sound like it. Like it sounds like this. So the actor's name is Pablo Schreiber,
Okay.
maybe what it is. And yeah, I don't know him. I'm looking through his movies. I've seen some of his movies. I don't remember him from any of them apparently,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it is interesting though because he wears a mask. You'd think they very easily could have gotten the original voice actor to do a voice, and you never even know the difference. It wasn't the guy behind wearing the
Right.
suit, but
Yeah, exactly.
it
And-
seems like
and you could
with something
still-
so iconic as his voice, you'd think they would
Yeah.
try to pull something
Yeah.
like that. That'd be like that would have been sick. But
And you could easily make the excuse of just like, oh well, his voice is normal when he takes off his helmet. So it's the
Exactly.
actor's voice when he takes off the helmet, but the helmet like changes his voice.
For instance, I think I only learned this recently. The Scream voice is an actor. And I don't think, whatever, I was watching a little bit of Scream 4 recently. I haven't seen the new Scream, but it's such an iconic, hello, Sydney. It's an iconic voice, and I thought it was done through the voice changer. It was looking back at it, I feel very dumb because it's so well acted.
Yeah.
And every time a killer has the voice changer, they sound the same. But whenever they use the voice changer, which is like a $3 voice changer that can't really mask your voice, and in like Scream 3, it doesn't even exist. It's just like a disc. They could have just done that. They could have just had a voice.
Yeah.
When Master Chief was in costume, because he is muffled, right? They just can't put Gilbert Gottfried in the costume because that would be too polarizing of a voice. Like 1 second you're,
Yeah. The other thing that interested me was that at least according to this, it says that they spent $40 million on the show.
Yeah.
Which to me seems actually very low.
Right.
Like you would think that this would be like $120 million or $150 million show, especially since the new Lord of the Rings show that's coming out on Amazon is $500 million.
that's what I was just going to ask. I was like, I feel like that must have been a huge budget. Yeah.
Yeah, that's considered it's the most expensive television show ever.
Well, I don't think they released the numbers for Arcane, but I've noticed this on the podcast. Arcane was so expensive, I believe, that the Adult Swim president said the only place that really could take it is a heavy hitter like Netflix. Like Adult Swim couldn't take something like Arcane.
Yeah.
But I just bet that they just spent tons and tons of money on it, or they already had hired all the talent. If they don't own Studio Fortiche already, which is the music video artists who did the entire season of Arcane, they're paying them a whole boatload of money, and because they got the music video guys who do decent music videos, and it's just like the entire show is fully animated, and I watched like an animator's breakdown of it, and the first thing they said was like they didn't need to animate the people in the background, but they did. The people in the background who are blurred out are animated. So it just shows you how much they sank into that show. So I don't know. And like Disney Plus shows, Disney owns everything already, so who knows how much those shows cost. The Mandalorian's filmed with Unreal Engine, and they're probably cutting deals with Fortnite for it. That's my biggest guess so far. That Fortnite, which is owned by Epic, Epic owns the Unreal Engine. cuts a deal that you can use the stuff for the Mandalorian at a lower price if we put the Mandalorian in Fortnite and Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man's Sony, but and X-Men.
Yeah.
But it's still, that stuff must be really I don't know. Must be really expensive.
Yeah, I tried looking to see if there was numbers for Arcane, and
no
they
numbers,
don't.
yeah.
No numbers.
Yeah, it seems like it's really thinking about it more. It is kind of bizarre that the budget is so low for Halo because there's so much like
There's
like thinking about all like the CG like that has to be done. Like everything is
Right.
computer generated.
Yeah.
Like there's very little in the show that's not. Which is so funny because in Lord of the Rings, like the opposite's true. They love to do everything practical.
Yeah.
And so it seems so crazy that like
You could
like
still do
that budget should be swapped. It feels like with how much
Yeah.
technology is needed to make a Halo. You
Yeah.
would think, but I
Well,
don't know. What do
practical
I know?
can
I
be
guess.
expensive too.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is. I think, how much did it cost for Squid Game's set? It's obviously it's a weird comparison, but their set was, I think they had like 3 or 4 showpieces, and it still, I feel like, was not. It was expensive, but it wasn't that expensive.
Well, like just from. Oh, go ahead. I apologize.
No. Go on.
Well, I was just saying that. I just saw here that Wheel of Time, which is like a fantasy show that's on Amazon, they spent $10 million per episode.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting for Halo.
And that's what you'd think that Halo would do.
Squid Game's budget was $21 million to give you, like, what? And how much was it for Halo? This is
40.
gonna be weird. 40. Okay, that's so weird. And there's no CGI.
And Squid Games. Yeah, and Squid Games, I'm sure made that money back, no problem.
Oh yeah, no, I think the president of Netflix was like, yeah, there's going to be a season 2. I don't care what it takes,
Yeah.
But
Man.
even the history of the Halo movie/TV show is one that's been there for a while. Do you guys remember?
It's been a long journey.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when it was the guy from District 13 that was going to do it? No?
District 9?
District 9, District 13. Wow. 2 very different movies. District 9. I like District 9 so much that I was not going to watch District 13. No, one's a very different movie. District 9 actually was impressive on its own because like that was a movie where they showed how little of a budget they needed to make really good special effects because the guy was some veteran of special effects or something. And he noted what works with special effects. Like they didn't even do a lot of dark scenes in that movie. A lot of it was in daylight, but they made sure that everything looked so alien and so gooey because that was where the special effects would shine.
Right.
So yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna look up that budget in a second, but it's been a long history. I didn't even expect that we would end up with the Halo movie ever, but we were entering.
Yeah, with anything Halo.
Yeah, I think we're entering.
I mean, I remember.
Yeah, go on.
I remember being like in what was it, the middle school or whatever, and hearing about a potential movie, and there was that trailer that no one knew if it was real or fake, or if it was leaked, or if it was cut fan made. I remember like on the internet, just like, oh, what's this video? I found the torrent file. Like I don't even know if YouTube was around or the very early stages of YouTube at this point. And it's like, what's this crazy Halo video? Like it looks so crazy, like the warthog shooting the needler off. I remember and just ooh and on over this video and what could have been and then it's just been literal decades of like this roller coaster to finally get this TV show. I don't know. I'm really excited for it, even though like maybe my Halo cred's not there. I haven't played all the games, but I've always loved the franchise. I've played a lot of the multiplayer, and I love like just the characters and the story and the world and stuff built around it. So I'm really excited for the show. It's
weird. It's like a cultural touchstone if you're a gamer, right?
Yeah.
Like growing up, I never played Banjo-Kazooie, but it was so iconic and so such a big part of like, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s video game culture that, the second I heard it was coming to Smash, I mean, at that point I'd already gone back because I saw people really thought that game was amazing. But like you know of these things, and they really resonate. And so even though I've played, how many people played multiplayer Halo, and how many people played the storyline? Well, I feel like most people played the multiplayer once it came to Halo 2.
Yeah.
Which we've all played a bunch of it. But after that, I haven't played much of it. Like, it doesn't matter because it's just so fundamentally ingrained. Master Chief is such an iconic character, that they could do this, and it's weird to me because it's like, is this what they're doing now? They noticed that all the movie TV execs have noticed that Disney owns all of traditional media, so these other places are going to video games and anime and all these, I don't know, for their content.
Yeah, it seems like sort of like Hollywood is taking all these like already existing intellectual properties and wanting to make movies about them, whether it's like a book that a lot of people have read or video games in particular. It's just one of those things where like you said, like what things aren't already owned by other people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like all of a sudden, yeah, there has been a huge turn just in the last few years where it's like, hey, you know this thing, but
Yeah.
let's turn it into a movie. Let's turn it into a TV show. And I don't know. I don't know how much I like that. Like I know I just said I'm excited for the Halo TV show, and
Yeah.
you've mentioned Arcane a couple times. Arcane was phenomenal. I haven't finished it yet, but like I've watched 3/4 of it. Fantastic show. Like there's some really good stuff coming out now, but I don't know. Some of those things, it's just they're special because of the form that I first soaked it in. Like it's such a perfect video game. I don't know, and I think that's why in the past so many things have failed, because it's like Assassin's Creed is like, it's a great video game. That's not a good movie. Like I don't, or
Yeah.
at least like I think even with a good budget, actor, studio, whatever people's arguments are for why it's bad, I still think it would be very hard to make it good. And I think that's most the case most of the time. Like same thing with Uncharted. We were talking about that before the show. Like, man, Uncharted's like not looking super hot either.
Yeah.
Sony budget with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, like big time actors, lots of money. But so yeah, I don't know. I am excited about this Halo show, and hey, if they're gonna keep making TV shows and movies out of gaming franchises, I'm probably gonna keep watching because I'm a sucker for those
but
the nostalgic touchstones there, like we talked about. But I also feel like I don't know. They're great as games, and we can enjoy them as games. And like, why not? Why can't you just make a new IP, make something new, make something fresh? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they need to keep working on cracking that video game media formula. With Arcane, it was just done so well, and it was done so well because they're not retelling a story. They wrote a new one. And a variety of other factors, but
and you might be onto something there. Like now that you mentioned that, it's like it's true. Like a lot of the ones that have been good, it's like they just did something new. They didn't try to copy or like build off of what we already knew. It's like just do, like because there isn't a story in League of Legends. It's a MOBA where people just fight each other in this in this death ring.
Yeah,
So,
my roommate likes to say it's like making football the movie. Like the game, the movie, not quarterback.
Although
there are movies
Mobile, the movie.
There are movies about football, and they vary in quality, but the actual sport is a weird thing to make a movie about.
I will say one instance where that failed miserably: the Battleship movie.
I was just gonna say Battleship and Rampage with The Rock.
Rampage got better reviews. I think for a while it was the best reviewed video game movie. I have not seen it, but the game itself was whatever. I had a love-hate relationship with that game. I wanted the Rampage games to be amazing, and it's so satisfying to be huge and just wrecking everything, but it just it gets stale once, just so quickly.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. As a
quickly.
kid, just on Game Boy Color,
Oh,
smashing those buildings.
oh
Like
yeah.
I had that on Game Boy. I loved it. It was so dumb, but
It was so dumb. It was so great.
For hours, I would just smash buildings. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I was more of a Rampage 64 man. I don't know if they had I don't know if they had the lizard in Rampage for the Game Boy or not. But
Yes, I think they did.
didn't they add one more character for Rampage 64? I don't remember. But
yeah. I had Rampage on the NES. That's the one that I remember.
Let's see.
Rampage was on the NES?
Yeah, that's when it started. Well, it started on the
Arcades, yes.
and then it went to ported over
Game
to
Boy
the NES.
had the lizard, the gorilla dude, and the wolf thing.
Yes,
So
those are the three iconic characters.
So what's the one from 64 they added?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe I was just like, man, they have a wolf. I don't think they did so much. It was basically the same game, if I remember it correctly. I mean,
yeah, it's the same mechanics pretty much.
It's the same
3D,
mechanics,
I imagine, right?
Well, yeah, the models were 3D, but it was still side-scrolling. So it was, yeah. Like the best Rampage game is the mini game from Bart's Nightmare for the Super SNES. That's the best Rampage game.
It looks like is it a rhino? Is that what they added?
That's what they added. Some sort of rhino
it's a
thingy.
rhino. Rampage 2 Universal Tour on
Universal
Nintendo
Tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. And I don't even think that they did anything with the Universal Tour thing. Like, I think it's still only on Earth.
Only on Earth.
Yeah.
The first one's called World Tour, and the second one's called Universal Tour.
Oh
So
wait,
funny.
is that actually okay? Now I've got to look
Good old Midway Games. What do they do
Right?
nowadays? Are they
probably
still
owned
making-
by Microsoft.
probably?
Yeah.
And by
Are
the
they
way,
still helping with Mortal Kombat?
Midway, man, I doubt it. That would be cool though.
Yeah.
Midway went. It says on Wikipedia, defunct June
Oh.
9th, 2010. So they haven't been around for about 11 years.
Okay. District 9 was 30 million. That one movie was 30 million, and that's a low budget for a movie.
It made 210 million.
210. Documents from the Sony Pictures hack revealed that the film turned a profit of 67 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how when I searched up District 9 budget, one of the first things that popped up is District 9 a true story? Yeah, you remember that when
That's amazing.
aliens got stuck over South Africa?
Oh my god. I remember that. It was a true story. What are you talking about? This is weird. What are you talking about?
I mean, it is one of those. I haven't seen it in forever, but isn't it kind of filmed like it's supposed to like almost like not found footage, but very much like documentary style?
Yeah.
It's Cloverfield done right. Because Cloverfield, I should rewatch Cloverfield. I remember it was an okay movie.
I remember getting motion sick.
Yeah, I did not. I did not get motion sick. I was one of the few. But Cloverfield was so impressive. And I wanted to think that it was an amazing movie. I still give it so much credit for taking such a risk of being a full-blown, Godzilla film from the Steadicam of, gosh, what's his name? Deadpool's best friend.
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller. TJ Miller is the cameraman, by the way. It's like a little known fact. He's in like one scene. The camera comes away from him. You can see it's TJ. So whatever. But he's canceled. So yeah. So Total Destruction, Puzzle Attack, Rampage Through Time. Man, there's been a lot of Rampage games.
Mm-hmm.
Rampage Through Time's the PlayStation one. There's
one on PlayStation.
The PlayStation is World Tour, and the N64 is Universal Tour. Okay.
Well, Rampage World Tour was also the one that was on Game Boy Color. So Rampage World Tour was just the first one. Not the well,
Well,
not
not
the
the first
first one,
one.
'cause
Yeah, the
obviously,
second one.
but like the second one, I guess, and then there's
Yeah.
Rampage 2, which is actually the third one.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
if anyone is following, remember the Titans. Yes. Yes. Oh my man. But apparently, but anywho, it just shows you that video game movies get such bad scores, and the only time that we end up with a movie that's entertaining is when they go completely off the script. And I will add onto this list Super Mario, but Resident Evil, Super Mario. It wasn't Mario. That game that movie was entertaining for a whole other reason.
Wait, you're talking about like
It's
You're
the
talking,
old
you're
like
talking about Mario and Luigi Mario?
I'm talking about Mario and Luigi Mario because that movie has its own charm and has nothing to do. It has to do with like the fact that I think it's Bob Costas.
Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Costas is a sports commentator.
How do I know sports commentators? What is
all the
this?
same. It's all the same.
Yeah, so I believe Bob injured his arm halfway through, and they like,
Mhm.
you know, whatever. There's all those stories to it, but like they came to the Nintendo gave the creative control to people who showed them post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah.
And they just did it, and it's shameless. The whole thing is completely shameless, and it has its own charm because of that. It's not a great Mario movie for sure, but it's.
I will say that Dennis Hopper in that movie gives 150%. Like he acts his butt off.
And there's no better Yoshi than the Dino Yoshi in that they had a full. They were doing Detective Pikachu live action before Detective Pikachu was a thing.
Oh man, but I mean, they're bringing it back. Good old Chris Pratt. He's gonna save the day.
Yeah, that's so confusing. But you know what? As much as I absolutely am against that concept and hate it, and all of the above, the fact that they're doing something that goes away from actually what the game is might be something to give them credit for, because it seems to be what works for the other mediums. I don't know.
Yeah. And I appreciate that they're at least giving who's the voice of Mario? Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
They're at least letting him voice things in the film.
Yeah, it would be insane to not let Charles Martinet do it. Though, I mean, Luigi's voice changed over the years. There's different voices for Peach, I think. It's only Martinet that we kind of stick to. Which is kind of weird when we think about it. Bowser even. I think Bowser's voice has changed. There's YouTube videos documenting all this stuff.
Well, hopefully, what's actually going to happen is we're going to get a Super Mario multiverse, where actually it's going to tie into the Marvel MCU with the whole like everything crazy happening on right now in the MCU. So we'll actually have multiple Marios. So Chris Pratt Mario, the Charles Martinet Mario.
Yeah.
We'll get the Spider-Man meme, but with a bunch of Marios.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is, I believe Universal is tied to Mario, so we could see a Super Mario Fast and the Furious crossover.
Okay, yeah.
For a Mario Kart Fast and the Furious.
Oh my gosh.
the Sony pick the Universal Pictures Dark Universe is back with the Mummy again, but only because the Mario verse is a thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. People thought that they were going to. No one actually thought this, but no one actually thought this, but people thought that they were going to do like a Smash Brothers verse type thing.
Okay.
And they're very clearly setting up Donkey Kong in the movie, because Donkey Kong makes an appearance, and they have Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
And they have Cranky Kong. They have what's his name playing Cranky Kong.
Who's playing Cranky Kong? It's
Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen, yeah.
So they're also setting up a whole like the Donkey Kong like characters as well. Which I'm like, okay, I'm down. Give me some Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I love the old TV show.
Yeah, could they? Do you think there is a possible future where they do a Smash Brothers? I don't think so. I don't think it's actually logical that they could ever. But
I don't.
No.
no.
It was already a nightmare to get all those characters in a game. To try to get all those characters together on screen, I think would just.
I feel like it
like,
wasn't a
drive
nightmare. They got
stuff.
Miyamoto in a room. But like Smash Bros. Today is a nightmare. If they got
Right.
um
Oh, if it's original cast Smash Brothers, then yeah,
right,
that's
if it's
doable.
OG
But if
cast,
it's if it turns into Smash Ultimate, it's like trying to
yes.
get Sora in their TV show. It's like, oh my gosh, forget
That
it, we're done.
that
End
that
it
could be
here.
that could be their Avengers Endgame moment type of thing, where it's just like you get every character like all lined up.
Yeah. Oh, man. It would I could see a plausible future that they do not plan for this at all because it's absolutely insane, would make no sense ever. But they get a successful Donkey Kong movie, a semi-successful Mario movie, like a couple of these things,
And then they start up
a Netflix
like a
show for Metroid. They don't do anything with Earthbound because they will never do anything
Nope.
with Earthbound. And a Captain Falcon show, and they're like, yes, like after they have like 4 or 5 of those in, I would think that they could look to each other and be like, we could do something.
Well, do they
It's
have
not,
a
it's not
product?
happening. It's just not happening. Yeah, go on.
Does
No.
Nintendo have a production company
They're working on
TV
it.
and films?
What they partnered with Illumination, the people behind the cash grabs
Despicable
known
Me
as
and
Minions and Despicable
Yes.
Me and Sing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
The Secret Life of Pets. Am I right with all these? Someone
Yep,
tell me
I
I'm
believe so.
wrong.
You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
There you go. Yeah, because I'm like, what are the lowest common denominator? Whatever. Minions was a great movie. I will give them Minions, right? But they I wish Nintendo partnered with someone else. Look at me throwing shade on the internet. This is the worst thing that I could possibly do.
No, I mean Nintendo has a lot of money, and
Yeah.
they could have easily teamed up with Disney or Pixar or
Yeah.
even DreamWorks, like
Yeah.
one of those much bigger studios. But Illumination, like that seems almost like bottom of the barrel a little bit. Like Illumination's not bad. Minions, fun movie. Just
Fun movie.
great movies. Like there's some fun, really good movies. But it does, it's just very strange. It's like this titan of the video game industry of Nintendo.
It makes sense because they could have more creative control. They'd have less people to leverage, right?
And it would be less of an investment too.
But like they could partner with Universal as they're already partnering with them, with Universal Studios.
Right.
Yeah, they apparently just like working with Illumination. It makes me feel like it's not going to be great. It's not like the Mario movie's not going to be good. And yeah.
Now that you mention that too, you're right. They do have ties with Universal. Like I think isn't Nintendo World, like the amusement park, is connected to Universal.
It's Universal, yeah.
So knowing that, like that makes a lot more sense because Illumination, I think, is connected with Universal, where obviously those other studios like generally don't.
Oh,
like,
is Illumination part of Universal in some way?
I don't know if it's part, but I feel
it's connected in some way.
I'd have to look it up. I'd just be talking about my butt.
You guys Google us and tell us why we're wrong. This is the internet. Yeah. This is where that happens. Yeah. And I know that there was like talks about a Zelda show that was that leaked in the Sony hacks? I believe that was at least.
There was supposed to be a Netflix show, but once they got leaked, Nintendo shut it down.
Yeah, they're like, nope, not happening.
You guys ruined it. You did this to yourself.
You had one job. Yep. And then they were actually working on a live action, not live action. It was like a Robot Chicken type of Star Fox show. Because there was a Star Fox show, like a short that I think College Humor did. One of those Funny or Die College Humor.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at that and they were like, okay, well, we can work on this. And that came out not too long ago. That someone who worked on it was like, we were going to do this. It could have been the hack that ended that as well. Yeah. A long series of unfortunate events. Yes,
Yeah.
Garrett.
So I did find the answer to the Illumination. It is in fact owned by Universal and
Boom.
Meledandri. So yeah, it's a division of NBC Universal. But also there's numbers for their highest grossing films. How much do you think Minions in 2015? How much do you think that movie made worldwide?
300 million.
Oh, I'd say like 500.
Is that your final answers?
That's gonna be my final answer. 300 feels
Okay.
weird to me. It feels super weird. It feels
We're
weird.
looking at
I feel dirty now.
$1.159 billion worldwide.
Oh, Lord.
So that's
Well-
why they make Minions movies, because they make even
Right.
Despicable
Yeah.
Me 3 made over $1 billion. So
Well, do you know
yeah.
why they wanted to do a second Space Jam? Because the first movie didn't do that good in terms of the movie, but the merchandising made over $3 billion.
Oh man. Yeah.
So they're like,
Jeez.
let's merchandise it again.
And I think I found this out recently. It's this in Space Jam 2. It's whatever. In 2 movies this year by Warner Brothers, they point out that they are making shameless cash grab sequels.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like they break the fourth wall and they tell you straight to your face, "We are after your money." I guess I'm not gonna reveal the second one, but they apparently say it in Space Jam 2. I haven't gotten drunk enough to watch Space Jam 2. I haven't felt depressed enough, gotten into such a dark place that I've watched Space Jam 2 just yet. I just need to get married and divorced first, and
Yeah.
like I need a whole lot to happen. Before I watch Space Jam 2.
Before you touch Space Jam 2. Oh man.
Yeah. When do you hit rock bottom? Well, I watched Space Jam 2 last night. Oh gosh.
They're like, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Can we tell the kids? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's Space Jam 2. Which, for those of you who do not know, Space Jam 1 was awesome. I mean, it was
Fantastic.
probably a fine film, not the most amazing film. It was fun.
No.
It had Bill Murray, and it had actually a solid cast.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the basketball players that were in it were actually surprisingly like
They worked for their roles,
yeah.
which is something that doesn't happen. So yeah, I mean, do we want to keep talking about movies? Because we have.
I know we've like
Yeah.
so far off of Halo.
We're so
Halo
far
looks
off of
really
it.
cool, guys.
Well, you know
Halo
what
looks
though? It's
great.
perfect. It's perfect because Halo started as a movie and became a TV show. We started as a TV show and we went off to movies. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, the conversation is video game media in general.
Right.
And there was a Space Jam video game.
Yes, that is true.
So yeah, so I guess the next thing we have to touch, there's a couple articles and stuff, but the next thing we have to touch is, have any of you guys gotten to Pokemon yet? Because I have not.
No.
I have not gotten my copy. I was going to today was gonna be my big let's talk about Pokemon. I didn't even check with Garrett if you knew, but yeah.
I picked it up, so I get all my stuff digital now.
Yeah.
And so I had it downloaded, and then on the same day that Pokemon came out, I actually got I don't have it down here with me. I got a PSP that I ordered off eBay.
No
That
way.
came in.
Oh, which
And so
which model is it? 1000 or 2000?
It's a 2000 model.
2000.
And it's actually it's beautiful. I wish I had it. It's like this matte bronze color, so it was exclusive to Japan. It was like a Monster Hunter edition that came out in Japan. It took like 2 months to get here. It took forever
for sure.
to get here. And so when it showed up, I was so stoked. I'm like, I'm sorry, I should be playing Pokemon, but I got my new my new old PSP.
Yeah.
Dude, it's reliving my my childhood again. So much fun.
And that
But
thing,
because of
yeah.
that, I've only played like 30 minutes of Pokemon, so I kind of felt bad. I'm like, I didn't play very much, but
No, I mean, I haven't even gotten it because I ordered it from I was gonna say Game Freak. I guess it is Game Freak. I ordered it from Pokemon Center. which I guess is
Okay.
Game Freak. And they delayed the shipment, and then I got a message saying my pre-order bonus was canceled. So,
What?
like, what?
Like,
What was your pre-order bonus?
Oh, so I ordered it from them because they give you an Arceus plush with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, okay, you guess it's a small Arceus plush, but they give you an Arceus plush with it. I'm like, okay, you know what? This time I'll order it from them. What's the worst that could happen? So it'll come eventually.
You don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
I wish I wish I lived in Japan. The promo that they're doing over there is you actually get like a promo card, like a Pokemon card
No way.
with like Arceus on it, and it was like it's really cool artwork. And I was like, man, like I found a link at one point on like the Japanese Amazon, and I think they ship to the U.S. But I'm like,
You could probably find it on
I don't know,
TCG
like,
Player. I mean, that's as
yeah.
a big nerd of Magic the Gathering cards. TCG Player is definitely the cheapest place for all this stuff.
Okay.
But now I
Yeah.
know what I
I'll
have to
to
look
check
at.
that out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sweet promo
That's
card. Look
that's
that up. It's
awesome.
pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be totally taking a look at that right after this. So apparently my game is coming tomorrow. I can't take their word for it. And the plush, I messaged them and they're like, "Yeah, it's not canceled. Your pre-order bonus isn't canceled. It'll come in a couple months." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." So yeah, I guess I have to wait for the egg to hatch. Like, what is going on there? I don't know.
It is interesting now. Again, like I haven't played much myself, so I don't have my own opinion. But
Yeah,
the
but you've
discourse
played more
around this
than
game
me
has
and
been
possibly Funky.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to almost like talk about the discourse around the game because before it even came out, there was already so much hate, and then the reviews came out, and the reviews are actually extremely favorable, like 8s and 9s, like really high
I haven't
scores on this game.
I haven't seen like
Sorry if I spoiled that for if you like to avoid the reviews. I should have asked, I guess, first. It
Oh,
got really
oh.
high reviews from a lot of things. I know some people like to avoid the reviews as well.
So I
So
avoided
sorry
everything,
about that.
and like I have an issue with some for some reason these headphones sometimes cut out, so it actually muted you a little bit during that point. So I don't even know.
Oh.
But
Oh, there we go.
yeah, it's both convenient and inconvenient.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the scores mean nothing to me because 8 out of 10, too much water. If they give me, it's the descriptions that like typically spoil
Yeah.
things for me.
But
yeah,
even from the fan base, though, like so much more, like before the game even came out, the fan base was like hating on it so much, and then even since then, like I've just seen I don't know, it's so bizarre to me nowadays. Like people, I don't people, it's almost like this entitlement. It just drives me crazy. Like, can't people just be happy we got a new Pokemon game? Like that's how I feel.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
with I have like a few core franchises where it's just like I don't know if you're a fan of it, like. I don't know. I'm not saying you can't be disappointed. Like people can be disappointed, but it's the vitriol and hatred that comes out on Twitter and online. It's like it's a video game, guys. You should be happy we got one at all, right? Like that's what I feel. I feel like it's a miracle that anything even comes out nowadays. So,
Yeah,
or it's like or I was gonna say, or it's just like one of those things where if you hate the game, guess what, guys? You don't have to buy it and play it.
You don't have to pay for it. You can just.
Oh, I think you guys cut out for a second, and even I cut out. But the audio's still going. I think. What happened? Did they survive? Did they not? Find out next time on Dragon Ball. No, I don't know. Let me see if I can fix this really quickly. Oh, okay. I think I see what happened. Discord just died for a half a second. Boy, am I glad that I ordered a brand new
It was
computer.
awesome. Like I'm loving it.
Okay, we're back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
I think just you dropped out. You dropped out.
I dropped out, which meant the stream dropped out. So give me just a second.
Oh, okay. No worries.
I'm going back into this call, which will bring us back in. Aha! And if I turn on video, maybe it'll turn on video. Maybe it won't. Okay, there we go.
Hey.
John the Film Geek. See, I don't even know. Sometimes it doesn't even go on. That sound, if you heard it, is the podcast just coming right back in. Definitely not a raid by Sean. Sean, thank you for the raid. That was really kind of you. We are here talking about what were we talking about? as I
We were talking
I'm
about
blanking
Pokemon
out, man.
and just
Oh, Pokemon and
the hatred
yes.
it's gotten online
So
for no reason.
for those of
Absolutely no
you,
reason.
maybe everything cut out because I got rated. Thank you so much for the raid. For those of you who were there for the glitch or not there for the glitch, we are talking about the new Pokemon game and how people cannot just be happy with a new entry in a franchise. Think about how we had to like bet everything on Metroid Dread, you know, and hope and pray. And it was a fine like game. It wasn't it you know, it did go above. It wasn't but the point is, it was a great enough game, man, and we don't always get that chance. And
i.e. Earthbound.
Well, Earthbound is different too, because I believe the story with Earthbound is Earthbound. They is it Itoy? No, it's not Itoy. The creator of Earthbound only wanted to do 3 games. So people are upset that Mother 3 isn't here, but the creator, I believe, said he wanted to do 3 games and that was it. So that's why we don't have more Earthbound. Someone can, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right there. What I think that they could do is give Toby Fox the reins, but I don't think Toby Fox would ever like kind of really want to take that on, because he has his own little twist on things. But it would be something interesting if they were just like Earthbound Legends, Undertale, whatever. Like they could do it, because he is working with Nintendo so much these days. That's like a whole other tangent. But the thing is, I stayed away from all the review scores because I wanted to get my own personal feel on it, and I stayed away from the last trailer. The last trailers always show you like way too much of the game. So yeah. So I don't know. I know there's like alternate forms and stuff. We kind of knew that going in, but I have not played the game myself. I haven't because Pokemon hasn't sent it out yet. And just like Pokemon Snap, I'm waiting to play it for the first time on my own, and I'm gonna get that fresh experience. And then I guess on the other side of that coin, not everyone should be able to be a critic. I should not be able to be a critic. People are too loud. People are too loud.
No, yeah, you're right. Not everyone, and that's the reason why, like, I don't do reviews, and I'm not a critic. Like, I talk about what I like about something, but I'm never gonna be like, I'd be a horrible critic, because, like I've already proven, like, I'm just happy that anything comes out. I get so excited about any game, even if it's bad. I'm like, this game's so awesome because it came out and I got to play it. Like, who am I that I get to play this video game? I don't know. Like, I guess, and again, it goes back to like this entitlement on the internet where everyone feels like they deserve something.
Right.
It's like, you don't deserve anything.
No.
Like you are nobody who definitely doesn't deserve a Pokemon game. But you know what? They make it for us because they enjoy making it and they love making art.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'd be bad at doing reviews and being a critic, because I'd just be like 10 out of 10. This game's awesome.
Yes.
These guys are so cool.
I love jank, and that was actually the topic of last week's episode. On I can't say youtube.com/ Super Pocket 64 because we don't have that yet. Whatever, on exclamation point YouTube, that'll work. Last week's episode we talked about jank games, and honestly how much better they can be sometimes because they have personality. Sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're just bad, but a lot of times, most of the time, they have personality, even if it is Pokemon Dash. It has a lot of personality. It's the entirety of the Sonic franchise. It's just Sonic has so much character that you can turn him into a werehog, and we'll be just like, this is kind of cool. Like, what's what's going on?
And I mean,
here?
like,
Sonic looking like he has rabies is a feature, not a bug. That movie trailer was not.
Well, and I mean, like, I'm a huge like movie fan, so I kind of equate everything with movies. And with me, it's like I'm definitely not one to talk because I have a weekly meetup with my friends where we purposefully watch bad movies and we enjoy the heck out of them. So,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Is it called Best of the Worst?
no, it's sort of like that though.
That's great.
We just call it our book club.
Okay.
Because like all of like the girlfriends, they have their book club, and they're like, oh, this is essentially just a guy's version of book club.
Yeah.
So
And-
yeah, so that's what we do.
And I guess this is super random and off topic. We'll jump right back right after. But have you watched the Neil Breen films yet? And if not, will they be on the list?
We've watched
Twisted Pair or whatever.
no, not Twisted Pair. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it?
If for those who do not know, the Neil Breen films are apparently some of the best worst movies ever made.
Fateful Findings. Fateful Findings.
Yes. So back to Arceus because
Yeah.
you know the Pokemon discussion is important. Yeah. So Arceus, I'm giving them credit where credit is due before I even play the game. That so far it seems like it's not so far off the trail where it's just broken and bad. It seems to be that they're attempting an open world thing that people have been asking them to do. They're having Pokemon in the wild, which people have been asking them to do. Having it be third person, which is something that people have been wanting them to do. And it may not be a full step. And I can even be okay with that. I can be patient until I get my Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. I am not expecting this to be Pokemon Breath of the Wild. I'm expecting this to be Pokemon... I don't know. I'm expecting this to be Pokemon Bowser's Fury. You know?
Okay.
It's a showcase of what they're working on and how they can transform the game into modern day times. Because they haven't been doing that. And I was initially incredibly disappointed with Sword and Shield. And then I just enjoyed it because it's a basic Pokemon game and, you know, who can get mad about that? And I actually really do like their DLC with like a roguelike dungeon. It's like really replayable. If you haven't played that, I think it's the Crown Tundra DLC.
Yeah, I haven't touched the DLC.
Okay, yeah. So they have this like mini game where you when you beat it, you have a chance to get when you beat it, you catch a legendary Pokemon, and there's a 1 in 20 chance that one of the Pokemon that you catch in the journey in this little, I guess it's a mini game. It takes like 45 minutes each time you play it, so whatever you want to call it, side game. You face 4 Pokemon, and at the end, one of them, if you have the shiny charm, it's like 1 in 20 that one of those Pokemon is going to be shiny. And so it encourages replayability, and it's just you, and you team up with 3 other friends, and you fight 4 Pokemon in a row. And it's fun. It's like it's not so interesting, but it's something fresh and new with a little bit of a reward, and Pokemon did it. And I don't know what someone was actually programming at Game Freak, and I don't know what's going on there. I know they had one guy who was programming all the curry, but I didn't know they had another guy who was programming like an actual fun side game.
Imagine being the curry programmer.
Well,
hey, what's your job? I make curry.
I make 150 types of curry. How many curry? There was an absurd amount of curry that you could collect in the in Pokemon.
Gotta catch
Sword
them
and
all.
Shield. You gotta catch them all. And that was a thing.
Curry dex. There's a Pokedex and a curry dex.
There was a curry. It's a thing.
What's it?
Is
there? Okay, I play a little bit of the game. I was one of those who didn't really enjoy Sword and Shield. But that's only because my argument was my last Pokemon game I played was it Ruby and Sapphire on Game Boy Advance, and then I jumped to Sword and Shield. And for me, there was like so much that changed. It was very shocking to me. I'm like, oh, I didn't get this slow incremental addition of these features. It was just like, boom, here they are. Figure it out.
Well,
and it was a little bit of shock. And so I'd love to go back and try it again. But yeah, it was a lot.
Well, that's like the same with me because I was obsessed with Red and Blue when they came out on the Game Boy,
Oh yeah, same here.
and Yellow to some degree, and then never played another Pokemon game past that other than like Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium and stuff. But so I played Emerald for the first time, but I only stuck to just playing with Gen 1 Pokemon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing now is like I'm like, okay, I'm trying to find a game I could play in the Pokemon universe where it's still familiar enough to me that I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize these Pokemon. These Pokemon are kind of throughout the game. And then but yeah, have it to be newer and have new mechanics and
Yeah, and like I came in on I played I played through Ruby Sapphire. Red and Blue, you know, I had that Game Boy on me in class playing it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
teachers, if you're listening now. And I
Sorry, not sorry.
sorry, not sorry. Um, and like Gold and Silver were like such a pinnacle for me. Like those were amazing, and
Oh,
Ruby and
good.
Sapphire, they felt even better. But they didn't. I didn't know why they didn't quite hold me as much. And playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I think it was just like I saw Pokemon in color, and that's why it was such a big deal for me. I mean,
yeah.
I played Fire Red, but this was different. It was like battling with two Pokemon at once.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think it was just like, wow, it's such an evolution. But you know, replaying it, I was like, I don't know. And then I stopped because playing video games is a waste of time. As you all know, playing video games
Yeah.
is such a waste of time. People who are streamers who devote their lives to playing video games.
Isn't everything just a waste of time, though?
Yeah,
You know?
isn't everything a waste of time? Man, oh my gosh. I really gotta get it over with and watch Space Jam 2. Okay,
Oh, man.
some things are more a waste of time than others.
Yeah.
But I came back on X and Y, and that was I got a new job, and my brother asked me if he could pick up a copy of X and Y, and he was working in the same company, and we had this company trip when I got onboarded, and he's like, yeah, it happens the same day as X and Y come out. Buy me a copy of X and Y on the way to the train so that I can play it. I didn't have a Game Boy at the time. Instead, I got two copies, a new 3DS XL, sorry, a 3DS XL, and I said, "Bring it on." You know, just like when we were kids, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it had some of the old Pokemon in it, and the newer games have a bunch of those old Pokemon in it, so that you know people like us are like, I know what this is. I'm not that old. I know what an Eevee is, man. You can't get me here. Yeah.
I'm just glad that my favorite Pokemon is still popular enough that he's still in all the newer stuff.
Which one? Which one?
Gyarados.
Oh yeah, no, Gyarados
Heck yeah.
is top tier. No, I think I only liked Red Gyarados. But Gyarados, even the cards, I believe it's Gyarados is like the second, whatever. Don't quote me on this, but when I was told by one of the Pokemon collectors which are the like best cards to collect, it was like Charizard and Gyarados, and I think Mewtwo, or Mewtwo Pikachu, because like the things that you can immediately identify, but Gyarados, would Gyarados be immediately identified? I feel like the starters would be that. Alas. So yeah, this game is also taking a page out of that. Whatever, it's not taking a page out of anything. They are adding Pokemon from multiple generations. So,
but
sorry, chat just made me laugh. Sorry, you can't use your bike here. Amazing, Lobster.
I think I did look though that the number of Pokemon available in Arceus is quite a bit less than Sword and Shield.
Okay, I mean, you know, I'm gonna reserve judgment because they did something new. You know,
Right.
they're putting Pokemon in the wild, and they have to
Well,
animate
and
all these other things. Yeah. Sorry. Go
well,
on.
and let's be honest. I mean, do you really need, what is it, 1,000? We're up to 1,000 now.
Yes, I need all 1,000.
You need, I mean, I
Give
would
it to
love
me.
a game that had all 1,000.
Right.
Oh my god.
But like a
But
different
Santa.
game. You know,
yeah.
like I mean, I guess my answer to this is twofold. Don't give me a game where give me a experience where it's fun and I can have
Mhm.
most of my Pokemon, because I understand at this point I'm not gonna be able to have all the Pokemon, like, but also you're the largest multimedia franchise in the world. Make the app for, if you're not gonna give me all the Pokemon, make the app that stores the Pokemon free to the people who have the Pokemon games. Like, if
Yeah.
you're a long time consumer of the Pokemon games, don't make it like, what is it? It's like $15 a year or something to store Pokemon. Or have another option.
With the Pokemon Home app, really?
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
never really looked too much into it. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So-
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Pokemon. Okay, for those thousands of years ago, there's a game called Pokemon, and you could collect every single one of them, and they had the catchphrase "Gotta catch them all," until they took away the catchphrase when they realized it was not feasible and like not okay anymore to use the catchphrase "Gotta catch them all." And like, I think it's possible there are lawsuits involved. Do not quote me on that as well. They had different ways that you could store Pokemon on the DS, I believe. They had their own DS/3DS. At least on the 3DS, they had a paid version where you had to pay
Pokemon Bank, right?
Pokemon Bank, right? Where you could pay to store the Pokemon, and it would be cloud storage. Cool. Now they decided to make one that was going to be the one for the future, and it's Pokemon Home. And they have a free tier and a paid tier. And the paid tier is something like, I believe it's from $5 to $15 a year. And it's not much, but you're paying to store Pokemon. If it was a one-time
You're storing a fake
was-
thing that doesn't exist.
What was that? Sorry, I missed it.
You're
'cause-
storing it. I was just saying, like, you're paying to store a fake thing that doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. The free tier allows you
Kind
50
of like an
Pokemon.
NFT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not even an NFT. You can't sell it. It's not even an NFT. I'm sure.
Ooh,
there's a
but what
black
if
one.
I would not be surprised if this NFT takes off though. If Game
If
Freak
it
is
takes
like, hey, you want your Pokemon to be an NFT?
Oh, please don't. God, please no.
That's what we were
I
going to
hope-
discuss too, the Pokemon NFT thing, but the NFT thing. But we'll possibly get to that soon. I mean, man.
Man.
Yeah, just please, God, no. I just no. I just want them
I
to
ho-
give me alternative or a one-time price for it, and don't make it the price of the expansion pass online. Sorry, go on, Funky. I cut you off.
Well, no, and I was gonna say, I mean, you can't say that technically that these game makers cannot make a game that you could store all of your Pokemon on it. like I don't. There's no way that having even 900 Pokemon on a game is too much technically.
It depends on what we're talking about. Final Fantasy VII Remake is how large a game? We're talking about
Yeah.
not the file size for it would not even be like, the only feasible issue would be file size, and then at that point, still it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is. I'm trying to think of like different games that are big. What's like the biggest game on the Switch? I don't know.
Smash Brothers is one of them.
Smash Bros is one of them, and it's
Yeah.
What is it, like 30 gigs or something?
40, I think.
Yeah, this is not the biggest. Pokemon is not known. Apparently, it got some flack for not being the most pretty game in the world. So you're not dealing with such high quality textures. It's fine. Like they could store it. They could buy. I don't know. I'm like, if I was Pokemon, I would invest long term in creating animations and rigging up like as many moves to as many Pokemon as possible, and just put them in every game as such. And make your own living decks of all this stuff that's flexible across the different platforms, because the Pokemon assets from X and Y were used through Pokemon Go, and I think through other games in the series as it went on. They are reusing assets, just like, and it's sometimes it's easier said than done. There's different things with different architectures that are built. They'll cause issues with that. Having said that, like, this is still something they could do. Marcy says they would do Pokemon NFTs. Please, I really hope not.
I hope I just didn't will it into existence by saying it.
What have you done? What have you done?
And actually, this tangents pretty neatly into Pokemon NFTs, because someone on the internet, at the top of Reddit, a human on the internet on YouTube, was rambling about how NFTs just don't make sense for gaming. Because of that article one of you guys posted about how Ubisoft is like, was it Ubisoft?
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, am I shaming the wrong people?
No. Yeah, it was
get...
Ubisoft.
You're shaming the right people.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is always the right person to shame. Always.
I think it was that they don't. People don't know what they want, essentially. Like, gamers should want NFTs. Funky. I don't want to keep cutting you off. Sorry.
No. So yeah, I mean, I sent that to you earlier today.
Yeah.
And essentially, what happened was that the two vice presidents for Ubisoft, they see it as the future of gaming. That, like, you buy an item and that's an NFT.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are calling them out on it, saying that it's just like, this is just like snake oil, selling snake oil or something. Their response essentially is, well, you guys just don't get it.
I think they don't get it.
You're not smart enough.
Yeah, I think that they get the basis layer of it. That's one thing. Yes, you can buy something that is on a platform that will be gone in X amount of years. Cool. Right? It doesn't transfer into other games unless there is some universal library, and even then, if I'm building my game, I have no reason to include your assets. I don't know what the licensing is on your assets. There's so many other problems that you'll encounter, and it just will not be universally added. What I wanted, and there's no reason for it, was licensing through NFT. If you wanted DRM to any degree, but you want to give the power of that DRM to the physical collectors out there, be like, okay, it's a digital game, but it's an NFT. And so you can transfer ownership of that download through NFT to someone else. That's the only way I've seen the concept of NFTs work through gaming, because as all of us physical collectors know, physical is dying, and like, I don't know, to get the games I wanted, I don't like pirating games. I have an immense library of games that I've gone through the effort of not pirating. But if you are making DRM so painful, if you're gonna make everything an NFT, I'm gonna download your JPEG.
Yeah.
I will download your JPEG.
Well, and I mean, like, especially on like Ubisoft's on their sort of side, it all comes down to every purchase of an NFT, they get a little cut of it. Every time that person that bought the NFT sells the NFT, they get a little cut of it.
That's true too.
So
yeah, look, that is a market that helps the creators, but who's okay? I'm making a little indie game. Where am I going to use their NFT? As an image for like a profile picture? Like, that's where Twitter's using it. Is that it?
Well, I mean, according to the article, they're saying about using like items in a game,
Right. Like almost
in-game
like
items as
cosmetic items,
NFTs.
like skins and stuff would
Right.
be
But that's never
NFTs.
gonna
So
be in
what?
Smash Brothers. That's gonna be in Ubisoft games, or like
Right.
that's never gonna
But
be.
like, I guess my question is, what's the difference between that and loot boxes? You know, I mean, you pay to have things within a game. I guess the only difference is that you technically own it, but they still own it
Yeah.
because they're the creators of the NFT.
I mean, like, yeah,
I don't like any of this. Like I
No,
really
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
either.
But I on the other hand, it's like, well, in something that you mentioned there, Pocket, was having the NFT, like you actually having ownership of it does
Yeah.
allow you to then sell it and trade it with people. Where like right now you open a loot box and it's like what you get is what you get and you're
Right.
stuck with it. You spent that money. Where technically with an NFT, okay, I get a really stupid backpack in Fortnite I don't like, and I'm gonna trade it for someone else's pickaxe that's really cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sweet. Like you trading NFTs that way and like swapping ownership, and even like with digital games,
yeah,
like if they do get to the point where like, okay, the next Assassin's Creed game is an NFT when you buy it, like so you like you mentioned, Pocket, like
yeah,
you do own it, and then because right now like when you buy a digital game, that's your game. You don't sell it or trade it, like you just have
yeah.
it. And so to be able to trade like that concept is cool, but I don't know. I also just
It still makes me sick at night. It still
it's
makes
the
me.
connection.
Yeah.
I think it's the connection to just NFT and the realm that's already currently there is just really
It's
I don't like. Like
it's
if it was a new technology that they were using to do this stuff, great. But it's mostly just the connection to NFT, really. That's kind of
yeah. Every step that they take brings me one step closer to watching Space Jam 2, and I just it's just yeah. It's the thing is like, why do they keep uh persisting on they will not stop with this. Let me give you this temporary value that does not hold long-lasting value. And that's why I'm big on like the game itself. It's not even that much of a value. I'm just like, why can't you just give me actual value? And you're like, oh, it's kind of better than a loot box. I'm like, is that a good thing? Like what's going on here? Loot boxes are the bane of gaming existence.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there's
That's why Star Wars Battlefront 2 is like $10 right now if you want to get it.
yeah, well, $10. It's like $2 if you buy it from GameStop.
I mean,
if you buy the physical.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're giving away for free, whether it's PlayStation Plus or
Yeah.
Epic Games, like they're just giving it away. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and good luck getting your Ubisoft NFT into the top 3 best-selling Switch games. Smartsy mentioned this. What were we trying to find this for? It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Smash Ultimate. I didn't even know Smash Ultimate was that high on that list. I knew it sold a lot, and I knew it. I thought it was lower on the list because it sold less than Mario Kart and Animal Crossing. But I guess the casual market is just that big.
To be honest, that's like the only game that I've been playing on my Switch is Animal Crossing. to be honest,
once a week I host Smash Ultimate sessions. Like until I became a streamer, I would not play with anyone. So that should tell you something. Yeah, and I just don't understand Mario Kart 8. I just do not understand it for the life of me.
Do you not like Mario Kart 8? Or are
I
you just
think
saying
it's
you don't understand why
fine.
it's
I think it's a fine game. I just don't understand why that's like Super Mario is a game that's super easy to pick up. The controls are relatively intuitive. It's not like Mario Kart 8 where you can just hold the controller and it will move. But Mario Kart is the best-selling game. And it's a remake
of a Wii U game.
Of a Wii U game. And so I'm just so puzzled. It's not even new Mario Kart. Why isn't it Zelda? Breath of the Wild was so iconic.
And I think it does come down to like who can play it. Like cuz like Super Mario Odyssey, fantastic game. We had you on our book club episode where we talked about it.
Yes.
So much fun. And that game for like, let's just, for example, my 4-year-old son,
Yeah.
Shepherd, he loves watching me play it,
Yeah.
and he likes quote unquote playing it, running around in the world,
Yeah.
but he can't actually play it.
Yeah.
Where like we regularly play Mario Kart together. Like he can do Mario Kart. He understands Go. He knows the button to use his power-ups. Yeah, we have the bumpers on, the handicaps and stuff like that. And like, but yeah, I think that's what it is. It's not only the recognizability. Like obviously people know who Mario is, but when they see Mario Kart, they're like, "Oh, Mario Kart!" Like everyone has memories of playing Mario Kart on Super Nintendo,
Yeah. I have
and
that.
and
I
and
have a
and, and,
photo.
and, and like with their
Mm.
friends too. It's a party game. It's not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's not just by yourself. So it's like the fact that it's multiplayer where we can all sit with friends and play the game, and literal 4-year-old can play it. Like
Yeah.
you know.
But
Yeah.
then,
So I think that's a lot of it, because you're right. Like Breath of the Wild, like incredible game. Super Mario Odyssey, fantastic game. Like all these much better games
right.
if you're
If
looking
you're
at it from like
from a specific
a
perspective.
right. But as far as like just the ease of use for a wide range,
Yeah.
a much bigger kind of age range there, it's Mario Kart's got it nailed.
Yeah, but then I challenge you on this. Then why is Call of Duty so well played? Or I don't know what the top games being played are right now, but I can tell you that League of Legends is one of them. And a toddler cannot play League of Legends, and if they can, they can play better than me, but they can't play it well. Call of Duty, all of these like mature franchises sell insanely. Fortnite is huge. Fortnite might be, I don't know. It's really hard to figure this all out.
I think that's kind of it though, is like all those franchises are big, or some of the top sellers on PlayStation, on Xbox, on Steam, on Epic, where like those are, I mean, video games in general are for all ages,
Yeah.
but generally older people in ages are playing on those consoles, where I feel like whether like obviously not amongst our gaming friends, but
Yeah.
if I talk to my random aunt back home in New York about video games, everyone recognizes Nintendo. Like even if they
Yeah.
don't understand or know what video games are, and so and Nintendo is automatically associated usually with a more family friendly. Like
Yeah.
we're all gonna sit around and play. So maybe that's like
It's an auto
I
include for sure.
so I wonder if that has a lot to do with it as well. Like their sales are the more family friendly top sales, because that is, the millions of units that have sold of the Switch are mainly people who are like, hey, I have kids and I don't know anything about video games, and all I see on the PlayStation ad is Call of Duty, but on the Nintendo Switch ad, I'm seeing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So
It's like
I don't know.
it's so interesting to me.
Because you're right, Fortnite is on Switch. Like they could, why isn't that like
It
the
does
number
very
one
well.
seller? But it's not, and I think it's
Yeah.
because like people are playing those on their Xboxes and their PlayStations and
Well,
whatever.
Right.
And
I think this is cart sales, and though there's an exception that Fortnite does have a physical box without a cart in
they
it.
do, which is bizarre.
Bizarre. It is a download only game, which I believe would go in the download only section, and because it's a free game, it might be out of the charts on Nintendo, which leaves Hollow Knight. But Hollow Knight also had a physical run, so I don't know why that's there. Stardew Valley, Hollow Knight, all those end up in there. Minecraft ends up at the top as well, and that's a hard game to play. I guess I just do not understand this stuff, right? And my nephew will pick up Animal Crossing and just run around and throw the fishing rod around, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
You just gotta have a couple kids. You gotta have a couple kids pocket, and then you'll understand.
Yeah. I'll grab him after the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
And go watch Space Jam 2.
No.
No, I was gonna mention, because you mentioned Minecraft, and I don't know if you heard that there was an unofficial Minecraft NFT game, and that it just disappeared like 2 days ago.
With $1 million worth of of stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane.
That just 100% proves that NFTs are all just a scam. Like, get out of here. Like,
there is lasting value with them. I just think that people need to figure out what it is. It's like early internet. or like early Bitcoin, where people are like, it's not anything, it's not gonna be worth anything, and then they find a use for it, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin was huge because it was a technology, and a couple other, whatever. There's a variety of factors, but the point is that like everyone's throwing everything at the wall with NFTs, everything at the wall with NFTs, and most of them look like cash grabs. Buy a loot box of something, but something's gonna rise above. I will tell you. I was gonna say, what was it? AMC was giving out NFTs, and I think that's hilarious. I want my Raid Shadow Legends NFT. That's what I want. I don't want.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, the memes are hilarious with it, and it just needs to find a purpose, and I feel like there is one out there. It's just not, let's create a way for these big corporations to get more money. I don't think that's the way that people want it, and someone's going to figure out at some point how to do it in a way that makes it better. Like, if Pokemon ends up making it that people can easily get Pokemon NFTs, like I said, like if there's a Humble Bundle already does this, and they don't make it an NFT. They don't make it have that additional DRM. They have DRM free stuff that, like, if you buy it, you own it. And you can download the actual file of the game. It's amazing. I think I can actually download, like, well, I mean, who knows which games, but like, download Super Meat Boy, just the file of Super Meat Boy, and I own that forever, right? Yep. That's where I see that, like, some sort of value right now. I think it's gonna hit us over the head, and we're not. Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see.
We will definitely see.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Freaking NFTs. What was the other? To come back to one thing, there are 151 types of curry in the curry dex.
Oh, okay. Just like
Yes.
all the Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yep. Which I appreciate, but also not appreciate. And I think that the curry dex is like, let's give the intern something to do. And I feel like that.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that's an actual thing, and people look at it and they're like, oh, why is this company adding this? And this is probably like someone's first gig, working at Pokemon. It's like, I'm so proud of the curry dex. And
Yeah.
And everyone just gives Game Freak entirely hate for it. So,
Not me. I love a good
that's
curry.
my explanation of it.
Do you foresee a curry Pokemon in the future?
I mean, they have a
one?
garbage trash bag Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There has to be a curry. There's a tea Pokemon. Like, there has to be a curry one soon, right?
Yeah, there has to be a curry Pokemon soon.
Imagine the implications of that, though. Like, okay, so yeah, they have the curry dex already in the game. Like, you go to make a curry and you accidentally make a Pokemon, and
That actually would be
like,
cool. That would have got me to use the curry dex.
But then what if you eat it? Like, oops, I made a Pokemon and I fed it to my other Pokemon. Like, yep, Charmander just ate my Currymon, whatever his name is. Like,
yeah, like you're reminding me of like Ego Raptor's cartoon where it's like, we don't feed you Pokemon. What is it? We don't kill Pokemon. We don't eat Pokemon. We eat. Oh, is it get me Tauros meat? Sorry, Funky.
Yeah, he's like, give me Tauros meat or something. Something nourishing.
Yeah, something nourishing. Like, all you give me is Poffins.
Yeah.
It's all you feed me. We don't kill them. We do it for you. Yeah.
Can you I mean, you played 30 minutes of Arceus, Garrett. Can you die in the game?
Oh, they don't know about that.
Not in the first 30 minutes that I've played. No.
Because I thought that I heard that was like a feature of like there's real danger of you as a trainer in the
Well,
game.
from what they showed in even early trailers, like some
Yeah.
of the earlier first ones, like the Pokemon attack you. Like
Yeah.
they don't come
Mhm.
after like if you don't have a Pokemon with you, they come after you. And I think I remember reading like you can faint and you'll just wake up back in town or something.
Okay.
That
I haven't
makes sense.
experienced that. That's just it was like an early preview back when they first announced the thing. So I'm curious to see how that actually works. But that is so bizarre for a Pokemon game. Like this really is like a dark timeline for Pokemon. Like it goes from like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Pokemon are gonna attack you and you
Well,
might die. You're gonna
yeah,
come close to death.
it's dark, but I mean they took out a lot of the dark elements of the first game before it got to the betas and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they had the whips. Every trainer had a whip. You had a
Really?
whip.
Well,
And so
in the original, in Red and Blue, there
Rocket
still are some
has,
sprites.
yeah,
Yeah, with whips.
with whips. And I just thought that was like a cool like effect thing. Yeah, it's um
So
so
I am curious, as someone who's completely new to like any newer gen Pokemon game.
okay, yeah.
Where is this set in terms of like location and time?
I believe
So
it is Oh, sorry, Garrett.
well, no, sorry. Well, as far as location, it's ancient Sinnoh region, which is Diamond Pearl. So that's what I think that's why
Okay.
they did like the big Diamond Pearl remake, because then you could
Okay.
like, hey, play Diamond Pearl, and then here's the ancient version of the Sinnoh region. So that's what it is. As far as what Pokemon are there, like I'm not sure how they decided that, because I mean, even the starters, it's what Cyndaquil,
It's a
uh,
mix. It's brilliant.
Oshawa, and what's the owl? What's his name? I always forget the name. Um,
Rowlet,
Rowlet, yeah. So it's
Hmm.
like it's a mix from different generations, even. So
which
like,
is like the perfect thing to do.
oh yeah, it was genius.
It's
And
genius.
obviously, I mean, obviously you have to pick Cyndaquil or else you're
Or
playing
else
the game
that's
wrong.
yeah, like
But
what are you
I
doing?
mean, what
And
are
So
you
you even
can
doing?
catch a Piplup later. Like don't worry.
so in terms of timeline, it's set like hundreds of years before.
I think like the tiniest spoiler that you are creating the first Pokedex for that region.
Okay.
So like that's
Yeah. Yeah, the idea is like you're again, this is like what I know from the early previews, but like 'cause, again, I played 30 minutes. That doesn't really mean anything in a Pokemon game. Like
you're our
most of it is just, like that
leading
means nothing.
correspondent.
But
Yeah.
no, but what I remember from one of like the previews from like IGN or something, like yeah, it's the explorers have just boots on the like brand new boots on the ground in the Sinnoh region.
Hmm.
They make it seem like yeah, and even like because it's supposed to be like ancient technology and stuff like that too. Like it's like I think they just discovered how to even make Pokeballs and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what I remember. That's what I remember from the early artwork that came out again when the trailers did. Like the Pokeballs look like they're made out of wood, like hand
Yeah.
carved. It's
That
so
actually
crazy.
comes up later in they actually make that into a bigger thing. I'm trying not to give away spoilers, but basically
Right.
the fact that the Pokeballs are wooden affects the environment a little bit, and you'll see that.
Huh.
You'll see what I mean once you play it.
Interesting. Huh.
Trying not to give it away, but I'm
Yeah.
super vague
I
right now.
I was just curious.
Yeah. So it's man, I personally am just very excited. What can I say here? It'll be good, or I want to do well so that they actually keep taking chances. That's what I
Yeah.
want. But
If they could turn this Legends, like Pokemon Legends, into like a whole series, like that would be super cool. Imagine if they did other regions. Like, what other regions would you guys want with
Pokemon
like,
Legends Kanto,
Yeah.
I would lose my
right?
mind. The first gen, like they wouldn't do
Yeah.
it for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
It would be so cool though if yeah, beside their mainline series,